So what about for the people that are saying, well, if I just stop protesting and I stop fighting, then I'm giving up?
Resistance is focused on that which you desire to resist. The focus of your attention and your energy is on the unwanted. We don't want Trump. We hate Trump. He needs to go. Trump is bad. Trump, 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 Trump. It is called paying attention for a reason. Because when we give something our attention, it's like sticking dollars that way. You're paying attention. You're just putting your money there where your attention is, feeding the beast. Resistance to anything is just feeding that which you are resisting. It's just giving energy, and it's where your focus is. What you resist persists. It's not just a spiritual law, it's a physical law. For every action, there is an opposite, an equal and opposite reaction. The more you resist something, the more that which is being resisted starts like pushing back and resisting back. And that's what you're seeing also in the whole Trump situation. So resistance is feeding energy to the unwanted. It is a very different thing than focusing on the solution. For instance, when this whole Muslim ban started happening, there were countless lawyers that were helping the people that were stranded in the airports. They were not resisting anything. They were focused on justice. They were working for justice. Just like there are politicians that are working for democracy. It's a very different energy. Resisting something is just giving energy to the unwanted, whereas shifting your focus to what you do want, and then focusing with all your mind on the wanted, is a totally different experience. And that is also what is giving you energy. Shia LaBeouf and some other artists started this project, He Will Not Divide Us. He will not divide us, he will not divide it. It was, a resistance act, it was a protest, and I'm saying was because the plug has been pulled. The whole project is no more. It was supposed to run for 4 years. It's gone. It's dead. Why? People can't keep resisting. You can't maintain a state of resistance because it's exhausting. It's not inspiring at all. It's just dumping energy in that which you don't want. And you could see in this project, and I have been following it, like I would be at the computer and just checking, like what's happening at that webcam, that live webcam. A lot of kerfuffle. First it was like, very busy and people were chanting, He will not divide us, He will not divide us. But that like slowly started, kind of dying out, and then it was taken over by pro-Trumpers that were just using the medium to, spit their side of the story. And eventually it just died out and nobody was there anymore. And at the same time, the creators of this project were bickering on Twitter about credits and who was taking credit for this project, while the project itself was like on the floor, dying.
So resisting dividing or resisting division actually created internal division.
Internal division, they were fighting over who was given credit for this, and then it just died. It just died. And then they posted, the makers or the creators of this project, the museum has abandoned us. No, you fucking whiner. The museum did not abandon you. You abandoned you. Because while your project was like gasping for air on the ground, dying, you were bickering amongst each other over who was taking the credit. Like, hello? Resistance is not inspiring. Resistance is exhausting, and people can't maintain that state of resistance for very long because it doesn't have any life force. The other issue with resistance is it messes with your vibration. You cannot be both in a state of resistance, resisting whatever it is that you resist. It could be completely justified. The thing that you're resisting, completely justified. But you're putting yourself vibrationally in a state of resistance. And in a state of resistance, you are not in a state of allowing the wanted either. You can't both be in a state of resistance and receive or allow that which you do want. And while you're busy over here resisting the unwanted, what you're doing vibrationally is matching your energy with the unwanted. So what you're getting back is more of the unwanted, because you're a vibrational match to the unwanted by your attention to it. There is journalists passionately working for truth. You can do that forever. There are lawyers passionately working for justice. There's politicians passionately working for democracy. That's a completely different vibration than just resisting Trump. Resistance is not going to create the world that we do want. And this is where I'm saying, resist no evil. Now that you know what you don't want, what is it that you do want? And turn there, leave the whatever it is that you don't want to itself, because it's going to implode. Donald Trump is going to self-implode. We don't need to resist him, because everything he stands for is going to go to pieces all by itself. The people that voted for him were hoping that he would bring them prosperity. But he cannot bring them prosperity because he is feeding scarcity thinking. And you cannot create abundance and prosperity while focused in scarcity thinking. Two mutually exclusive states. So he's not going to create abundance and prosperity. He's not, because he is not in vibrational alignment with it. He is not going to create safety, because he is continuously fueling fear. His whole focus is on maintaining a sense of fear and feeding people's fear. You cannot feed fear and create safety. It cannot be done. So Trump is going to fail. He's going to only make people's fears worse, because that's where his focus is. He's only going to create more scarcity, because that's where his focus is. Don't worry about Trump. His own pack will eventually notice that he is not making their life better. On the contrary, and they will turn against him. We don't need to worry about Trump. Trump is going to self-destruct in 10, 9, 8, 7. And we better be ready with the alternative. And we cannot be ready with the alternative as long as we are focused on the unwanted and keep obsessing about Trump and how bad and wrong he is. We need to withdraw our attention from the unwanted, from the whole Trump situation, and say, okay, thank you, Trump. Thank you, Brother Trump, for allowing us to see so clearly what we don't want.